Year 7, 16.3. Solving equations with x on both sides of the equation. Here's an example. 8x minus 1 equals 4x plus 11. The first thing we notice is that there's x on both sides of this equation. 8x on the left-hand side and 4x on the right-hand side. So we need to tidy up the equation so that x only appears on one side. Let's look at where most of the x's are. 8x is bigger than 4x, so most x's are here. So we decide to move the 4x to the other side of the equation by subtraction. We can take away 4x from both sides of the equation in just the same way as we might subtract a number, leaving us with 4x minus 1 on the left-hand side and just 11, no x's at all, on the right-hand side. Suddenly, with this simple manoeuvre, the equation becomes much easier to solve. 4x minus 1 equals 11. We can add 1 to both sides. 4x equals 12. Divide by 4. X is equal to 3. Before we move on, let's just check and see if that works by putting x equals 3 back into the original equation. The left-hand side would be this. 24 minus 1 is 23. The right-hand side would be 12 plus 11, that's 23 as well. If we get the same answer on both sides of the equation, we know that our solution must be right. Ready to try another example? What about this? 2x minus 3 equals 6x plus x minus 58. There's lots of x's going on here. The first thing we need to do is to simplify this equation. If we see lots of x's all on one side of the equation, we can add them together to make it look a bit clearer. So let's write the equation like this. 2x minus 3 equals 7x minus 58. Now we do the same as before. Look at the equation and see where most of the x's are. 7x is the biggest number of x's, so let's move the smaller number. Get rid of it by subtracting 2x from both sides of the equation. That means we end up with an equation looking like this. Minus 3 equals 5x minus 58. Now it's easier to solve. We just go through the same steps as we used to. Add 58 to both sides. We end up with 55 equals 5x. Divide by 5, and our solution looks like this. 11 equals x. Now that's a bit strange to have it that way round, so we can just flip the equation the other way round and write it as x equals 11. Remember, always to check and see if our answer works by putting it back in the original equation. The left-hand side becomes 22 minus 3 is 19. The right-hand side becomes 77 minus 58, and that's 19 as well. Great news. If the answer is the same on both sides of the equation, that means we know we've got it right. Well done.